To begin configuring extensions, go to PBX, select Extensions, and then click on Extensions. On the General tab, you will find the General Configuration settings for extensions. This is where you create the extension number and its associated devices. With HaPBX, a multi-device technology is used, allowing multiple devices to share the same extension number. That is why the General tab in the Extensions module is divided into two sections, Extension Number and Device. Let's start by adding an extension number in the Extension Number section. This number can be any numeric combination and length you prefer. Next, assign a name to identify the extension and choose a class of service. We will cover classes of service in more detail later. You can then enter an email address. This email is used to notify the extension user, send a welcome email, and enable the voicemail to email feature. After that, you will see the internal, external, and emergency caller ID fields. These fields can be left empty. The internal caller ID will automatically populate with the extension name and number. External and emergency caller IDs can be customized for outbound calls through a trunk. Emergency CIDs will be explained later. Finally, select the language that will be used for voice prompts on this extension. Now, move to the Device section. Here, you can create the username and password used to register a device to the PBX. This device will be linked to the extension number above, so whenever the extension is dialed, this device will ring. The first option is Device Technology. You can choose between PJSIP, IAX2, Virtual, or None. Please note, starting with HaPBX4, the system operates entirely in a PJSIP environment instead of SIP. This change is due to SIP being deprecated in the latest asterisk versions and no longer supported. Any SIP-based device or trunk will still work with a PJSIP device or trunk created in HaPBX. So, compatibility with both legacy and modern devices is fully ensured. IAX2 is another traditional device type available in asterisk. Virtual devices represent destination numbers, such as a mobile phone, that are dialed when the extension is called. None allows you to create an extension without a device, such as a shared voicemail destination. Once we have selected our preferred technology, enter the device username and password. A random password is generated by default, and you can add a description to identify the device. Next, you can select a device profile and define how many max contacts are allowed to register using the same device credentials. With PJSIP, a single user device can support multiple registrations. You can also select a specific codec for the device, or leave this field empty to allow all available codecs. Then, if needed, you can adjust the DTMF mode. You may also assign a device-specific emergency caller ID and a dispatchable location. These options will be explained in more detail in the Emergency Calls section. Next, you will find the Deny and Permit fields. These allow you to specify IP addresses or network ranges that are allowed or blocked from registering this user device. Finally, you can enable or disable Ring Device. Since this is a multi-device PBX system, multiple devices can share the same extension number, allowing you to choose which devices will ring. Once all the required information is entered, click Save, and remember to apply changes. You don't need to fill out every field to create an extension. By entering only an extension number and a name, the remaining fields will be automatically populated and can be left with their default values. You can return to the extension from the list in the top right corner. When editing the extension, you will notice a device drop-down menu is now available. Click New to add an additional device to the same extension number. We use the Remove Device button to remove a device from the extension. Now that an extension number has been created, each time you add a new extension, the extension field will automatically be filled with the next sequential number based on the one you previously used. If you enter an extension number that already exists, the system will take you directly to the edit page for that extension. With this, you have successfully created your first extension. Congratulations! Next, we can configure additional features to make the extension more advanced.